Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a bit more serious than most videos I post. I want to open up about my mental health and go into a bit more detail than I have previously. Mental health is something that is seriously important to me, as it is something I deal with. And I'm on Facebook. I join mental health support groups and I offer support to those who need it. And I'm only telling you this because it's relevant to the story. I've met some amazing friends, and even met two of my ex-girlfriends. One I'm still best friends with, the other's a bitch, but I met them both through Facebook. Anyway, mental health. I personally deal with depression and anxiety symptoms. My depression is really bad, or it can get really bad. I can go a week where I'm fine, and then I can go, or sometimes it's even hours. So 1 hour I could run a marathon, the other hour I just want to lie in bed and die. That's an extreme example, but you get the point. It can be really good or really bad, and my anxiety lies on more of a social anxiety aspect. I do get anxiety pretty bad when, say I've got an interview, but that's normal for everyone. My social anxiety can be crippling at times. That's why it's not like, it's not one of the biggest reasons I'm single, but it's one of the reasons that I'm single, I imagine, because I can't, I have to use dating apps, or I use Facebook. I meet people on Facebook because it's easy. You will never see me in a bar or a club. I couldn't do it. I'd be way too anxious. The one girl, last day of college, last day I ever had in college, I decided to ask out the girl I had a crush on. Yeah, and I walked to the bathroom about 7 times before I had enough courage to ask her for a phone number. She said she had a boyfriend, and then I just sort of, anyway, I'm brain. So, a bit backstory. I went to a school called St. Bernadette's, which it was in the UK. We have 5 years of senior school, which is basically high school for you Americans, and I was not liked in that school whatsoever. It's not an understatement at all. Like, everyone hated me. Now, I have dyslexia and some other things, learning disability side, that I was really dumb, essentially. No offense to anyone, but for me personally, I was just really stupid. And first 2 years of seniors high school, I was a dick. I was a massive dick. And I'm lucky that I didn't start YouTube back then, because I know I was a massive prick. I was getting bullied, and that was horrible, but I will admit that when I was younger, I did bully people. Not often, and not like severely, but I did do it, and I was a little ass. Now, the two people that I did pick on were friends. I did apologise eventually, and we're good friends now, so that's fine. Bullying's not fine. I am a horrible person for doing it. But then, it's just because I was getting bullied. It's like a chain. Bullying's like a chain. I was getting bullied, so I felt so insecure and hurt myself that I felt the need to bully other people, and then they would have bullied someone, and then it just goes round and round like that, if that makes sense. And there was a lot of shit that happened in that school to me, and there's one, we have these years. So in year 9 English class, we had some sort of substitute teacher for a few weeks, and she just didn't care at all. So I was sat in that class getting picked on by everyone. Everyone. Everyone everyone was just making fun of me. Stuff like, they claimed I had a big head. They used to call me gay. For some strange reason, that was a big thing, that I was gay. And there was a rumour, it wasn't true, but it was a rumour that was really damning, and it was something that did get to me, and they knew it got to me, and they knew I was an easy target for bullying. So I used to get the fucking thick of it, I used to just be absolutely And the teacher was there in the classroom. She was just sat there and she let it happen. She didn't give two hairy shits about me. And then we had there's sort of like a second teacher in the room, like a helper who helps the less mentally able children like me. And she was actually stuck up for me. And what she did, she took me to the head of year, someone high up in the school after the class. And then, do you know what they did? They didn't. They got the kids that were bullying me in that class and said, "Stop bullying him." That's it. That's all they did. You know. And obviously that didn't stop it. That school was useless at stopping bullying. Now, and I honestly believe that that is where a lot of my insecurities and depression comes from. Because it's just, I've let all that go, or tried to let it go and move on. But it's really hard to do that when, school was supposed to be a place where you feel safe and wanted. And it really wasn't. And I know it's not for a lot of people. And I want to start using my platform to talk about bullying and anti-bullying stuff and things like that. It really did affect me, and my social anxiety is a direct, there's a school it's a different school than the one I went to, but just the road over. And when the kids are letting out, they're from the ages 13 to 16. In the UK, you leave school when you're 16. I can't be around people that age. My social anxiety just goes through the fucking roof, because that sort of age was the ones that bullied me. And if you don't have social anxiety, it can be hard to, understand that. But I get so nervous and so anxious, thinking that they're going to call me a name or come over and start trying to fight me or something, And it just, and we want to get onto the music side of things. If you've watched any of my Linkin Park videos, you know that I used to just come home and stick Linkin Park on, and I would just cry. I would just, I would just cry and cry, And it was a terrible, terrible time for me in my life. It was the worst, absolute worst. And there's a whole week where I didn't want to go to school, so I ate something I shouldn't have eaten to make myself sick. I physically made myself ill so I didn't have to go into school. And I had a week off school because I was generally ill, because I'd made myself ill, And that's it. That's like, how bad must the school experience be for someone to do that, I know everyone pulls a sick day, but for me, there was lots of days where I didn't want to go in and face the music, the bad music, the bullying. So I just made myself, I pretended to be sick, so I didn't have to go in. And a lot of the teachers just didn't care. They didn't care about bullying whatsoever. And it's not just me, Once I left the school, I did do a bit of background research and, looked at the school's reviews and stuff like that. And there's tons of reviews of parents saying my kid was bullied and no one cared, sort of thing. And I know, I think that's where my mental health problems stem from. Just from that, and so now I have to be honest. I hate myself, or on a bad day, I really hate myself, and all I can do is lie in bed and sulk. I just curl up into a ball, and I'm gonna start seeing a therapist, CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy. That's what it's called, and I am on sertraline 100 mg, which really helps. But that's just, but YouTube, we got onto the YouTube bit. YouTube has helped me massively with the whole hating my appearance, especially my voice. Before doing YouTube, I could not stand my voice. I hated it. Obviously, through having to edit videos and do things like that, I had to get accustomed to my voice. So, and my appearance. I love my appearance now. And I do believe that everyone grows into their appearance. There comes a point in your life where you can't change the way you look, so you do accept it and you start to love yourself. So my biggest problem around mental health is that loving myself, having the self-confidence to know that I am a great person. Um, I have to, you know, if I'm going to go out and meet the friends I do have, which honestly I don't have a lot of friends. I have friends, like my best friend who I go to see is obviously in Tennessee, if you remember that, and I have a lot of friends in America. Americans love me. Don't get me wrong. Through Facebook, I've met tons of Americans and they love me. But here in the UK, I don't have a lot of friends, and so when I do go out, I have to build myself up before. I usually stick some Oasis on or some Linkin Park, something that really helps me build confidence, and then my breathing exercises and my focusing exercises to help. And that's what I have to do all these preparations before I go out. And people who don't, there are people out there who say that people with anxiety are putting it on, and that really pisses me off. It really annoys me. But yeah, this video's gone on long enough, so I'm going to end it here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Take care, everyone.